Okay, sun is down. We just popped our first big one of the night. Needed that little bit of confidence going in there. And I'm just working it so slow. It's just a little hard bottom spot a lot of times in these rivers. Are we live? Welcome, folks. Good morning and happy Tuesday? Is it Tuesday?
Second day of legal tampering period in free agency.
It just says it's the second day of legal tampering period in free agency. Whatever the hell that even means. We're here fishing today. We ain't talking about football, but welcome back to another small boat series. You guys got to be asking yourself, you guys just filming small boat series all year? I don't know. We'll see. But this is such a great time of year to take advantage of a lot of these river systems. And the John boat's been just, we've been right at home in this little vessel. So today's a little bit different objective. We filmed a few videos already this year, kind of just getting out, breaking things in. Today we have a very different goal. We're at a stretch of river we've never filmed at before. And the goal is to put big fish in the boat. We're not chasing 20 fish. We're not chasing 15 fish. If we can put 3 to 5 nice big really, if we can just get one of those fish by the end of the day where it's like, wow, well, look at that. I mean, that's kind of the goal today. So it's going to be a fun one. We got a lot of work to do. We're starting it out at about 9 a.m. this morning, but stay tuned. We're going to get it going on, put the old John in the river, and target some big city walleyes. We're downtown, baby. Pound town, downtown. Big walleyes. Down? Does that sound all right? Wow. That was weird, dude. It ain't big. Well, number one of the day here, boys. It ain't a bad walleye to get things going. I mean, we're hoping we kind of find some bigger ones, but there we go. And really kind of the whole goal for today, I would say, would be a lot of times I struggle to catch big walleyes in the middle of the day on a lot of these rivers this time of year when they're just really low and clear. So a lot of times, I mean, we're hoping to just run a lot of water today, hopefully just find some kind of concentration of fish where I'm like, hey, at dark, I'll bet we can slide up in there and get a big bite or two. And that's kind of the hope. We're on spot number 2 now, and we have our first walleye of the day. Pretty little guy. I'll let him go. That's awesome. One thing that always amazes me on these river systems like this, dude, I don't know if our mics are probably such high quality, you guys can't hear the cop cars and the ambulances going around in the background. But the crazy thing is when you get in these rivers that are like right amongst like huge populations of people and they fish this good, you couldn't put a Mille Lacs here. You couldn't put like a big inland body of water here and have it be good fishing for 20, 30, 40 years. But these rivers are just so fertile, man. There's such good fishing to be had on these rivers. Even at a place where you look around and you're like, that doesn't look like it'd be a great place to go fishing, right? But it's amazing how many fish are in these places. So there's number 1. Now we just need to piece together potentially a couple big bites, and we'll be having ourselves a good day. What do they say? We'd catch like 7 or 8 or something like that? We weren't going to get 15?
We were hoping for 5 bites.
Yeah, well, there's 1. Now we just need to work on a quality one. Well, number 2. As you guys can tell by looking at the GoPro, just about really high staked me. Not quite the size we're super after here, but the one good thing is that we are kind of finding some of these walleyes, and they are up kind of in a shallow water spot. And one thing you'll see in a lot of these rivers is that if you just get in an area and you're just catching a bunch of like small saugers or something, or like saugers and smaller walleyes like in a deeper area, it's a good indicator that you're probably not around the bigger walleyes. And a lot of times what you see happen is if you get up in some shallow water and you're finding some, you know, respectable walleyes during the daytime, a lot of times I think those big fish are in the same area. It just takes, you know, really just kind of peppering that area or just being there at the right little window to make it happen. So there we go. Here's number 2. See you later, bud. I mean, nice spring river walleye. And that is the 3-inch jerk minnow junior. It's a smaller size. You guys see me fish the big one a lot. This is the smaller size, brand new for this year. One thing I really like about these really small plastics is you could pair them on like an 1/8 ounce jig like this and just kind of waver them in these real skinny water areas. A lot of times, you know, when you're fishing for just bigger fish, you're looking shallower, you're looking for less current, and you're talking about working something real soft. And as I just kind of sit here and like feather this jig through this little area, it has a lot of that little kind of wispy little movement. And a lot of times, if fish are kind of finicky, I think it's easier to get them to eat a small bait than a big bait. And that one followed the program, Mitchell. I mean, we got 2 in the boat. 2 spots, 2 fish. Let's make it happen. Be right. Oh yeah, I think we get. Yep. Just made a long move. Nice walleye. Oh, we're piecing a pattern together. That is for sure. Look how fat that sucker is, man. We're still striving for that big fish. And this is only our 3rd walleye of the day so far. But what we're piecing together is a little bit of a location thing, I think, on where we're kind of seeing these fish. You know, we fished a few different spots now. And basically, what it seems like is if we can find something a little bit slackier water, a little bit shallower, and something with a hard bottom. I mean, that's kind of like a thing that you see a lot when you're looking for walleyes in shallow water. Now, if we go out to deeper water, there could be more fish of mixed sizes, but I have so much confidence in running this kind of like little bit shallow water pattern that if we can just get in an area, you know, where we're like, okay, there's fish that I like to hold here, that we will get a big bite at some point today. Now, obviously, there's nothing wrong with these. You give me a whole bunch of those throughout the course of the next, you know, few hours, and I'll be a happy guy. That is a beautiful one, man. Look how perky he is. Look how clean these fish are, really, for being in this you know, we think of just the dirty city water river, I guess. But these fish are super clean, man, and super healthy. See you later. I mean, that just warms my soul. It's probably been, to be honest with you guys, about hour 45 minutes since my last walleye, but that's fine. I mean, like we said, we're not here for numbers. We're here for a big fish or 2. So it's a good sign. We're sitting at 11. I'm casting back to about 4 or 5 right now. And I literally just said about 2 seconds ago, I was like, it just feels right here. You know, sometimes you just get in that current or in that spot where you're like, the current's right, my jig's floating real nice. And it just was too good to be true, Mitchell. And not having any experience really on this stretch of river. Waypoint down, baby. Let's do it again. Mitchell's eating his yakisoba in the front of the boat right now.
That's right.
On the jet boil. So I got, for lunchtime, Mitchell got yakisoba, which is, I think, is just a fancy word for a fancy kind of ramen. I went with the Cracker Barrel macaroni cheese dinner, sharp cheddar, which apparently you just put boiling water in it and you're good to go. So that's what we got. Yes, sir. Got to read the directions first, though. And we're going to answer some questions from the YouTube channel while we take our Jet Boil minute. This is a quick spot for Jet Boil Inc. Nah, this is not a sponsored ad. But let me get some questions ready, and we'll cook some lunch and answer them. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? There's reality, though. I mean, it's all right. You know, it's still just noodles and cheese. But let's answer a few questions. So, first one, which I've been tagged in online hundreds of times over the course of the last couple weeks, is the Wisconsin spring hearing proposal to essentially ban forward-facing. Individual proposed it. You can vote on it. which we all should. I think you can even vote online now. But there's a proposal to essentially ban 360 imaging and forward-facing sonar in the state of Wisconsin. Now, you guys know my position on this. Number one, I enjoy using forward-facing sonar. But the main thing is here, and they basically said it's going to result in lowering bag limits. It's going to result in being so easy to catch a fish, right? Here's the thing. Do you think any fishing company is sitting out there going, how can I make a product that makes it more difficult to catch a fish? No, dude. 20 years ago, this stuff doesn't exist. Braided line, that's a diameter of 1 pound test, that cuts current, that gives you unbelievable sensitivity and hook setting power. High-end rods that let you cast a bait farther, detect a bite farther away. Trolling motors that let you spot lock, right? So forward-facing is just one more advantage that a fishing company came out with, right? Everything, a bigger boat, bigger motors, deeper, stronger walleye hulls that let us get to places you could never go before in a 16-foot Lund 40 years ago, right? So there's so many different advantages that we're all coming out with. And what are we gonna do? Ban every time there's a new advantage that comes out, ban it? Can't do that, right? Obviously, I think the biggest thing is with just a lot more, fishing's getting very popular, obviously, more popular than it's probably ever been. There's all these little advantages worked in, whether that's line or a forward-facing sonar. Social media, channels like mine that share a lot of information. I mean, I can go on Facebook right now and tell you how the bite is in anywhere I want to see, right? Within a few clicks of my finger. And because of all this stuff, we all just have to be much more conscious of catch and release. Whatever the bag limit says, that's more important. Do I think any advantage should be banned? No. There's 100 different kinds of advantages to catching a fish in this boat, whether that's a bait, line, a trolling motor, or whatever it might be, right? The gear that I'm wearing, whatever it might be. So that's my stance on that. I like to use my platform to promote conservation and try to do that a lot here. So wanted to kind of answer that question. That would be what I would say to that. Another one, none of the other questions will be that long-winded, right? We don't want to just let this take an eternity here. Excited for the small boat series. We've had a lot of those questions. We've also had a lot of people saying, what happened to the big boat? Well, the whole reason this whole small boat thing started is because I really wanted to buy a crappy boat, right? And you guys are saying to yourself right now, Tom, the John Boat XL is not a crappy boat. No, it's not at all. But that was how it started. I wanted to buy a boat, kind of like fix it up and kind of go along that course and then go catch some fish in it. And it ended up being, what if we got like kind of a simple John Boat setup, put a few of the modern things on it that we like to use to catch fish, and then tour that around. And that was kind of how this whole thing started. So we're super excited about the John Boat series too. What you guys see now, where we're fishing some of these, maybe some small rivers, maybe some big rivers, it's gonna change a lot once the main season kind of opens and we can take this thing to some really skinny water and catch some fish on places that there'd be no shot that we could get our bigger boat in. So that was kind of how that started. What was another question, Mitchell? There was another one that I screenshotted. We should probably find it before my macaroni gets cold. Oh, this is just a classically great question here. Now, you guys know YouTube, you get all types on here, right? Okay, Tom, you put this boat on plane in a shallow river with rocks and timber and I'll watch. Just a great question with a lot of complexity. And so this is just what you get on YouTube, right? And that's perfectly fine. Okay, Tom, you put this boat on plane in a shallow river with rocks, timber, and I'll watch. A lot of substance to that question. Now, if you take any boat and put it on plane, unless it's like a super shallow jet drive with a jack plate and shallow rocks and timber in a river, what's gonna happen? Do you guys know? You're gonna wreck it. You're gonna smash your prop into a rock and then it's over. So no, I'm not gonna do that. And that's no part of our filming project is to go smash this thing into rocks and stumps. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed those little questions. I'm gonna finish my mac and cheese.
What about Gold 25.6?
Oh, we'll get to him whatever. That question gets its whole video. That is the video. We're looking for spots. I feel like today's kind of like a halfway scouting, halfway fishing. I mean, I've hardly ever spent any time on this little section of river we're on. It's actually a pretty big section of river, I would say. But what we're looking for is just a lot of these little hard bottom spots out of the main flow of current, and generally a little bit shallower. And I'll kind of drop waypoints on a lot of them like I see. So we're coming out of the main channel. It's kind of behind us now. And I don't know if you can get a shot of this here, Mitchell, on the side imaging. You can see how it's just real rocky, clumped up. It almost looks like a wing dam. It's not really a wing dam though. It's just some kind of scattered stuff. And when I get in these areas, generally what I'm doing is like, I'll point the boat back into the current and I'll kind of see like how fast we're going. So like, I can tell you right now, we are way out of the main flow of the current because the boat's going almost 2 miles an hour now coming back into the current. So this is a much like slackier area. We're tight to shore. There's kind of a big flat that comes out here. And it's just kind of a roll where it comes in, and kind of where it meets this bank, there's a little hard spot. And this is a lot of times kind of where I think based on experiences that I've had, where it seems like a lot of these bigger fish will kind of sit, or a lot of these walleyes. Now, a lot of these river systems, you get out in the main flow, and it's little walleyes, little saugers all day long. But a lot of times if you can get a little bit shallower and find some of these fish that are tucked out of that main flow and some hard bottom, that's a lot of times what we're looking for. And the main thing is that I really have a lot of confidence in that if we can just stick with this program, obviously we haven't caught a lot of fish yet, that we will have the potential to be rewarded kind of at that sundown hour. But a lot of this just kind of revolves around just having confidence in what you're looking at, what you're doing, and then just kind of running through a lot of river. This particular stretch of river doesn't have just a ton of spots that look like this. So it kind of makes it easy to say, no, this is a silty inside turn. Oh, this is all muddy. Look at all the rough fish. Then you'll get in a spot like this where you'll see this good rock. And we have been catching some fish here in these kind of areas. It's just a matter of, can we stick a big one by the end of the day, I guess. Right there. Fish on. Number 1 of the evening. Not going to be a super big one to get things going, Mitchell, but we will work our way bigger and bigger, hopefully, as the evening goes on here. Absolutely beautiful night to do this. It was in the 60s today at one point. Let's go ahead and grab this guy here. Oh, she's angry. She's angry. There we go. Number 1 of the night. Pretty nice fish. We'll definitely get bigger, though. We're setting our sights on 8+ pound walleye by the time the sun comes up tomorrow. At least that's the goal. We'll get this guy popped off here. Fishing before it gets dark here. So we're just dealing with some real clear water. A little kind of natural colored. Made some slack here. Holy cow, did he eat that thing, man. A little natural colored jerk minnow junior right there. On a little 1/4 or 1/8 ounce head. Real shallow. There we go. Sometimes you get these real warm days and these nicer fish will kind of slide up towards the bank and then be there as the sun's going down. There we go. I mean, that's just a beautiful one right there. Give me some more of those bites, dude. He absolutely smoked it, Mitchell. He smoked it. Let's do it again. Right there. Fish on. Wow, did he crush that thing, man. I mean, that was a ferocious bite. It's a nice fish. It's not gonna be our stud. Ooh, he's getting bigger though. He's a nice one. Nothing super big yet. But hey, we're piecing them together here as the sun's slowly setting here. Let's go ahead and grab that guy real quick here. There we go. Look at that sexy little offering. There we go. Number 2 of the night. Got to have a modest start before we just open up the floodgates of big fish. Now I'm saying all this just hoping that happens. I have no confirmed data to back that up yet, but we're hoping to kind of put it together. That's a nice fish though, man. And there we go. We got some onlookers on shore who I think wanted that one, but we're going to let them go and hopefully stick another one. But this is a little offering that done really well on these kind of baits at night before. This is just a Google Eye jig with that spinner, the kind of an underspin deal. just with a tickle shad on the back. And that one absolutely lit it up, Mitchell. We just need it to happen more often. Got him, that's a better one. Think so. Maybe not. Yeah, it's a good one. We need light or no? I need light to net him. Alright guys, well that one just railed it. Well, the sun is going down now. I gotta get my net. Oh yeah, it's a big fatty.
Is it?
Big fatty, Mitchell. It's not a giant, but he's a pretty nice one. Oh, it's hooked weird too. Come on, get in there. Yes, dude. Alright, we're working our way up, folks. Turn my light off. Do you want the big light on?
No.
Or we're still doing okay?
We're good.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay, sun is down. We just popped our first big one of the night. Needed that little bit of confidence going in there, and I'm just working it so slow. It's just a little hard bottom spot. A lot of times in these rivers, where you'll find slack water is either like soft silt or mud, and they don't like that. So if you can find like a little hard bottom spot out of that main current, a lot of times that's where these bigger fish will suck up into. It's give you guys a look. That's a big heavy one right there. That's a big heavy one right there. He's actually a little bigger than I thought he was, Mitchell.
Yeah, that's a big fish.
A little bigger than he thought he was. You want the light on or no?
Your headlamp on him, go ahead.
So this fish thumped it. I felt the thump, but look how he's hooked. Just outside of the eye. So he kind of swung and missed a little bit. That is the reward right there. I mean, that is what we are after. That is a big stud daddy walleye. And these are the fish that we came here for. After dark can often be the right time. And if this is a sign of how the after dark's going to go, we might make a lot of casts for them. But when we hook up, they're going to be studs, man. That is what we're after right there. What a big fatty, huh, Mitchell?
Huge, dude.
That is a nice Mississippi River walleye right there, baby.
Just a stud.
That's awesome. Look at that stud. We need more, though. We need more. Oh, baby. Big giant walleyes at night. There she goes. She's going to be doing some spawning in a couple weeks here probably, but that is a good fish. I'll show you what she bit. Or kind of swung at. But a lot of times at night I just think the more kind of vibration you can have, the better off you are. And that little underspin again is what that fish was after. Sitting on just a little rock spot right behind us here. Let's do that again, huh? Doesn't take many of those to make a good video. Oh, got a little chilly tonight, but we did achieve the objective. We caught our big fish. I thought we'd honestly catch more. Only caught a few fish kind of in that post-sundown window, and it was kind of slow for the last 3 hours. One bite, missed it, no catches in the last 3 hours. That's the way it goes sometimes when you're hunting big fish. It's a low numbers thing oftentimes, and but I was kind of surprised we didn't catch more after dark. And I hope you guys kind of enjoyed watching this one. We wanted to do kind of a big fish film. We got down here kind of mid-morning, caught a few decent fish, set ourselves up for the evening bite, got a big bite after dark, and made it happen. So appreciate you guys watching this one. Where are we going to be next? I don't know. We definitely wanted to put a big fish in the John boat, so that was a good thing. I do not know. Is it time to go to Big Lake or something like that? I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching this one. Mitchell's in his truck right now. He's looking super tired. I'm ready to fall asleep. Stay tuned for the next one. If you guys are not yet, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you guys next time.